to my 6th annual SLAP challenge. SLAP, S-L-A-P, stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We are doing 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of an ab exercise, and 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays, for 40 days, and this is day 3. This challenge is very beginner friendly. So if you are a beginner, please stick around because I'm going to be walking you through the exercises that we are doing for today's workout, and I will also be providing beginner modifications. If you are not a beginner and you would like a workout that is a little bit more difficult, I recommend checking out the day 3 workout from last year's SLAP challenge. I will put a link up here in the iCard, and while you're there, I recommend saving the playlist for last year's SLAP challenge so that you have all of the workouts easily accessible to you, and then you can decide each day if you want to do the easier version of the workouts that I'm going to be doing this year, or if you want to do the more challenging workouts that we did for last year's SLAP challenge. The playlist that I made last year when we did this challenge will be linked at the very end of this video. I will also link it down below in the description box. So if you're having trouble finding any of these links, please just ask and I will help you out. But if you are a beginner, then let me go ahead and show you what we're doing today so that you can follow along with me. So for today's workout, I'm going to be combining all 4 exercises, our squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, into a little combo, and we're just going to repeat the combo a total of 40 times. That's how we are going to get our 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups done today. And you can see I have a dining room chair here. If you have a chair, definitely go ahead and grab it. It will be useful. However, if you don't have a chair, don't worry about it. You really don't need one. But let me go ahead and show you the exercises the way I'm doing them, and then I will go over your beginner modifications. All right, so my combo is going to look like this. I have my chair here. Notice that my chair is placed on top of my mat so that it cannot slide from underneath me. I'm working out on a wood floor, and I want to make sure that my chair is strong enough to hold my weight. I'm not really going to be putting a lot of weight on it, but in case you need to use the chair for support more than I do, I want you to make sure that you are choosing a chair that is strong enough to support you. Make sure that your chair is sturdy. All right, so you don't want to use like a flimsy folding chair or something. Use a nice sturdy chair that's well made, something that when you do put weight on it, it's not going to fold up, it's not going to collapse or break on you. And then just make sure that your chair is stable. So again, that's why I have my chair on top of the mat, so that it can't slide from underneath me, okay? So if you have a chair that is strong and sturdy and stable, you're going to want to get that ready, and you're also going to want to have a mat ready if you have one. If you don't have a mat, again, it's really not entirely necessary, but it just might make it a little bit easier to have something soft beneath you if you're going to go down to your knees for your push-ups, or if you want to have something underneath your chair to keep it from sliding. If you don't have a mat, maybe a towel will work, but just keep in mind that if you do knee push-ups, you are going to want to have something soft beneath you. But that's all you're going to need for this workout. So the first exercise I'm going to be doing as part of my combo is my squat component. And I'm going to be doing the exact same squat variation that we did in yesterday's workout, which is a squat jump. So if you can't jump, don't worry, I'm going to provide beginner modifications. So if you need an impact-free version of the workout, if you have really bad knees and you can't be jumping, or you have downstairs neighbors and you don't want to disturb them, don't go anywhere because I will be showing you how to do this with no jumping, okay? We'll do a completely impact-free beginner version as well. But I'm going to be doing a squat jump. So before you squat, you want to check in with your posture, make sure your shoulders are back and down. Back, meaning that you're going to kind of feel like you're pinching your shoulder blades together behind you, and down, meaning away from your ears, okay? So a lot of us, me included, walk around kind of like this all day. So if that's you, push those shoulders down, push them back. I think a good way to do this is to visualize trying to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets, okay? So just kind of let your shoulder blades slide down your back. And if you keep your shoulders back and down, that's also going to help you keep your chest lifted nice and high, which is what we want. Because when we sink down into that squat, we want to have a nice flat back. So if you keep your chest lifted high, that's going to help keep you from rounding your back, all right? So shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high. Now tighten up those abs as though someone is about to punch you in the stomach and you're bracing for that impact, okay? Make sure your entire core is really engaged. And now before you think about squatting down, what I want you to think about instead is hinging at the hips, taking your booty and kind of pushing it back. And what I like to tell people to visualize is that you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. So that wall way over there, if I want to touch it with my booty, I have to stick my booty out. And when I do that, look what happens. See how my weight is over my heels? I can actually pick up my toes. All of my body weight is in my heels. That's what you want, okay? And remember to keep your chest lifted high. So at the same time I'm trying to touch the wall behind me with my booty, I'm thinking about trying to touch the wall in front of me with my chest. That's going to help keep your spine nice and elongated to achieve that straight, that flat back that we want, okay? So roll the shoulders back and down, tighten those abs, push the booty back, and then from this position is where you can sink down into your squat, all right? So if you are an absolute beginner and your range of motion does not allow you to squat low, that's fine. You're gonna work to your own level. So if you can only come here, this is your squat, that's fine. Do your best to see if you can at least get your thighs parallel to the ground. You may not be able to get there. Don't worry about it, but that's what you're working towards, okay? Just make sure that you are working to your own level. Please be smart, be safe, listen to your body, and don't push your body into doing something that it's not ready to do. I want you to challenge yourself, but you need to work to your own level, all right? So what you're working towards is getting your thighs parallel to the ground if you can. If you want to squat lower so that your booty's all the way down below your knees, that's fine. But see if you could just go as low as you can without pushing yourself beyond what you're capable of doing today. All right, and then to come up, I'm going to press my heels into the ground as though I'm trying to push the ground away from me with my heels, and as I come up, I'm going to add a jump and just reach up with my arms, all right? So that's my squat jump. You can eliminate the jump up, all right? We'll get to that when we do our beginner variations, but I'm going to be jumping, all right? So shoulders back and down, chest is high, tighten up the abs. Push the booty back, sink down into your squat, keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heels, and then jump up. All right, so that's my squat component. That's the first part of my little combo. Now, as soon as I do my one squat, I'm going to do my push-up component. So I'm really just doing a standard push-up, but it's more like a burpee because I just completed my squat jump. Now I need to get down into my plank position for my push-up. So I'm going to first bend down and put my hands on the mat in front of me. Now I'm going to jump back with my feet so that I'm in a plank position, but you can step back if you prefer. That's absolutely fine. All right, we're gonna go over all of those modifications, but I'm going to, from this position, I'm going to jump back with my feet so that I'm in a plank position, and then I'm going to do my push-up. Now just make sure when you do your push-up that you're starting from this perfect plank position. So your abs should be super tight and engaged. My hands are directly underneath my shoulders, and notice how my body is in one straight line from my heels to my shoulders. So you want to make sure that you're not allowing your hips to drop down like this. That's causing an arch in my back. That's not what we want. So tighten up those abs, use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them high. If your hips are slightly elevated like this, that's fine. Don't worry about that too much. It's not ideal. What you're going for is that one straight line from your heels to your shoulders. But if your hips are just slightly elevated, you're not going to hurt yourself doing that. Your back is still flat in that position. So, it actually makes the push-ups a little bit easier. So if you find that your hips are just a little elevated, don't worry too much about that. Be aware of it. Work towards achieving that straight line from your heels to your shoulders, but don't stress out too much if your hips are slightly elevated. The main thing is that you want to make sure your back is flat. and that you're not allowing your back to arch. If your hips or your belly are kind of drooping down to the ground, that's going to cause an arch in your back. So just make sure your abs are super tight and engaged and that you're lifting your hips high. All right? And also your head, make sure your head is in line with your spine. You don't want to let your head droop like this. You do not need to overcorrect by hyperextending your neck and kind of jutting your chin out. You just want your head in line with your spine, nice neutral position. And once you're in your perfectly beautiful plank position, nothing moves, okay? All you're going to do is bend your elbows and lower your chest down to the mat, as close to the mat as you can get it. If you can't touch your chest to the mat, don't worry about it. Just shorten up your range of motion, all right? But don't compensate for not being able to get your chest down to the mat by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat. All right, that's a very common mistake. So if you find yourself doing that, you're in good company. A lot of people do it. So don't beat yourself up about it or anything, but just it's really something to be aware of and something that you want to address. So I think it's a really good idea to record yourself doing a few reps so that you can see what you're doing, because sometimes you're making these mistakes without even realizing it. So I very strongly recommend recording yourself doing this workout or just doing a few reps of push-ups just so that you can see your form and see that, oh yeah, my back isn't quite straight. Oh yeah, I'm not really getting my chest down and I'm kind of compensating for that by lowering my belly down to the ground, okay? So just a suggestion, you don't have to, but you know, I just want you to be aware of these things so that you can fix it. If you're doing the exercise with the proper form, you're not only helping to protect yourself from injury, but you're also going to be getting more of a benefit out of the exercise, and you'll see yourself get stronger, faster, and the stronger you get and the more you improve, the easier it will be to do the exercise properly. Okay, so just make sure you're minding your form. So from here, you want to make sure that if you're not able to get your chest all the way down, you're not compensating by lowering your hips or your belly down to the ground like that. The other really common mistake is when people can't get their chest all the way down. I think they want to try to kind of trick themselves into thinking they're getting all the way down, because I see a lot of people that will lower their forehead down to the mat, okay? So you don't want your forehead to touch the mat. Remember, you want your head in line with your spine, and you want everything to stay perfectly still as you bend your elbows and lower your chest down to the mat. If you can only get about halfway down, that's fine. Shorten up your range of motion. So if you come here and that's as far as you can go, then just, that's your push-up, okay? You're going to press the ground away with your palms and push yourself back up into your plank position, into your starting position. But just make sure that you're staying in one straight line from your heels to your shoulders. If you're doing knee push-ups, it's the same thing. The only difference is that instead of that straight line being from your heels to your shoulders, your straight line is going to be from your knees to your shoulders. And again, we'll go over all of that when I do the beginner modifications. All right, so I'm going to do my push-up, and then I'm going to jump my feet back in and stand. And you can step your feet back in instead of jumping them back in if you need an impact-free modification. But that's it. That's my squat and my push-up. So now on to lunges and abs. I'm going to kind of combine my lunges and my abs. So I'm standing here. My chair is in front of me. I'm facing the back of the chair. I'm going to take one leg and kick it up and over the chair. So I'm going to pick up one foot. I'm going to first kick kind of across my body. Okay, so if I'm picking this foot up, I'm first kicking across the other leg. And then from there, I'm going to kick this leg up and over the chair. And when this foot comes down, I'm going to allow the momentum to carry this leg behind me. My foot's going to land behind me, and from here I'm going to sink down into my lunge, okay? So it's a kick up and over, and then carry through with this leg. The foot lands behind you, sink down into your lunge. So in this lunge position, if you are able to tap this back knee down on the mat, that's fine, do that. just make sure that you are controlling the movement so that you don't bang your knee into the ground. The movement should be under control regardless of whether you're tapping the ground with that back knee or not. But just especially if you are planning on lunging all the way down so that your knee is actually on the ground, make sure you don't bang your knee into the ground, okay? And then this front leg, just do your best to make sure that this front knee is at more or less a 90-degree angle so that the knee of your front leg is more over the heel of this front foot as opposed to being like this out over the toes. You want your knee to be over your heel, so about a 90-degree angle in this front knee. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just something to be aware of. All right, and then I'm going to straighten my knees, but I'm going to leave this back foot behind me. I'm not going to step forward. I'm going to leave this foot behind me. And with the opposite hand, all right? So right now, this foot is behind me with the opposite hand. So the hand that's on the same side as my front leg, I'm going to reach out and grab my chair for support, okay? And then I'm going to straighten my knees. I'm going to leave this foot out to the side, extend my arm up overhead, and I'm going to crunch. So I'm going to lift this leg, bend the knee, and at the same time, I'm going to crunch to the side and bring my elbow to meet my knee, and then extend, okay? So if your elbow doesn't exactly touch your knee, that's fine, but that's what you're going for. Just get as close as you can, but really crunch and really feel those obliques. This is our ab exercise that we're doing today, all right? So starting with one hand on the chair for support, standing leg is on the same side as the chair, the other leg is extended out, and then my free arm is extended up. I'm going to lift this leg, bend the knee, and I'm going to crunch and bring knee to elbow. Then extend the arm back up overhead and put the foot down, all right? Then I'm going to repeat that lunge and abs on the other side, okay? So after I do my lunge, I'm gonna go right into my standing ab exercise. And now I'm going to repeat that on the other side. So I'm going to take the opposite leg, kick it first across my body, and then up and over my chair. And on the way down, I'm going to allow my momentum to carry my leg behind me, sink down into my lunge. Now as I straighten my legs, I'm going to leave this foot here, pivot to this other side, and the arm that's on the same side as the front leg is going to grab the chair. The other arm extends up overhead. I'm going to lift this leg, bend the knee, and I'm going to crunch. I'm going to feel that crunch in my obliques as I bring elbow to knee and then extend. And then I'm going to turn to face my chair again, and that's it. That's the combo. Now we're going to do that 40 times. So what that means is that you're going to end up doing a total of 40 squats and a total of 40 push-ups, but you're actually going to end up doing a total of 80 lunges and 80 reps of abs, because with each time that we complete the combo, we're doing one lunge and one crunch on each side. So each combo consists of one squat, one push-up, and 2 lunges and 2 reps of abs. So if you want to challenge yourself and do that with me, that's what I'm going to do, but it's something to be aware of. If that's too much for you, then you can just alternate sides with your lunge and abs with each set of the combo, okay? I think it gets confusing to remember which side you're on if you do it that way, so just maybe have some sort of system to remember which side you're on if you're going to alternate. The other thing you could do if you don't want to double your reps of lunges and abs is do the first 20 sets of the combo on one side. And then once you've completed 20 sets and you're ready to start on the second half and do your last 20 sets of the combo, switch sides. So that you would do your squat, jump, and then go down and do your push-up, and then stand, do your lunge, abs, and then start over with your squat and stay on that side for 20 sets. And then with your next 20 sets, do your squat, do your push-up, and then other side. Kick over the chair, lunge, and crunch. And just do your final 20 sets on that side, okay? So that is up to you. The only requirement to complete the challenge is just that you do a total of 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. So if you do it that way, you will still have met your requirement to complete the challenge. But if you want to increase the difficulty a little bit with me, we're going to actually be doing 40 reps of lunges on each leg and 40 standing crunches on each side, okay? So it's gonna be 80 lunges and 80 reps of abs all day. So just make the decision that's best for you. So now let me go over some beginner modifications and impact-free modifications that you can make in case you don't want to be jumping or in case you need to do push-ups from your knees. So the combo is going to be the same for your squat. The only difference is that if you're a beginner, you're going to eliminate the jump, okay? So shoulders back and down, chest is lifted high, tighten up those abs, push the booty back, and then sink down into your squat, keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heels, and then just press your heels into the ground. Push the ground away from you with your heels to stand, and that's it. You're just gonna do a basic air squat. All right, the chair's here for help if you need to hold on to the chair for support. Absolutely, that's fine, okay? Just do your best. Then you're going to do your push-up. So you're going to bend down and put your hands on the mat. And now instead of jumping back with your feet to get into your plank position, you can step back. And then you can put your knees down for the push-up. So again, you just want to make sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. You want to make sure that your abs are nice and tight and that you're lifting your hips high. Your body should be in one straight line from your knees to your shoulders. You want to make sure you're not arching your back and letting your hips or your belly droop down like this. And you want to make sure your head is in a nice neutral position in line with your spine. So don't let your head drop down like this. And also don't overcorrect, okay? Don't hyperextend your neck. Just have your head in line with your spine, and then you're going to bend your elbows and lower your chest down to the mat as close as you can get it, keeping that straight line from your knees to your shoulders. So bend the elbows, do your push-up, okay? So you're lowering your chest as close to the mat as you can. If you can't get your chest all the way down, that's fine. Just shorten up your range of motion. Come down as low as you can. If you can only get here, then that's your push-up. But don't compensate for the fact that you're not getting your head all the way down or getting your chest all the way down to the mat by lowering your hips or your belly down like this. Remember to keep your abs tight, keep your hips lifted high, keep your back flat. And don't compensate for the fact that you can't get your chest down to the mat by lowering your forehead down to the mat like that. Okay, make sure nothing moves. Once you have that perfectly straight line from your knees to your shoulders, it's a moving plank, okay? So keep everything perfectly still and just shorten up your range of motion if you need to. Once you have gotten your chest as close to the mat as you can, you're just going to push the ground away from you, okay? So you're going to press into the mat with your palms. Visualize pushing the ground away from you as you push yourself back up and return to your starting position. All right, now you can come back up into your high plank, step your feet in, and now it's time for our lunges and abs. Now, if the kick over the chair is too difficult for you, just eliminate it, okay? It's fine. Just stand and go right into your reverse lunge. If you need to shorten up your range of motion because you're a beginner, again, that's fine. So if you're a super duper beginner, you might not be able to step back really far for your lunge. So that's fine. Then you can step here, okay? If you're a super duper beginner, you might not be able to tap that back knee to the ground, and that's fine. okay? Just bend your knees a little bit. Work to your own level. Just make sure that you're minding your form. So make sure that your shoulders are back and down, make sure your abs are tight, and make sure you're keeping the weight in your heel. So this front knee is over the heel of my front foot. I can pick up my toes. Make sure your knee is not out over your toes. Just make sure you have more or less a 90-degree angle in this knee, this front knee, and that's your lunge, okay? It is fine if you have to take a short step back. It is fine if you can't sit down very far. Work to your own level. But from here, you're going to take your hand, the hand that's on the same side as your front leg. You're going to reach out in front of you. You're going to hold onto your chair for support. You're going to keep this back leg behind you. And then you are going to turn this way, extend your arm, and do your standing crunch, okay? So you're lifting this foot, bending the knee, and then you are crunching down, bringing knee to elbow. And again, if you can't touch your elbow with your knee, that's fine, just get as close as you can. And then you're just gonna turn and face your chair again. And again, now you have the same decision to make if you want to double your lunges and abs with me, okay? So you can now repeat that on the other side. So take a step back with the opposite foot for your lunge. And now take your hand that's on the same side as your front leg, reach out and grab the chair, pivot to the side, keeping this leg extended, extend your arm, lift the leg, bend the knee, and crunch, knee to elbow. Really feel those obliques. Put the leg back down, extend the arm up overhead, and turn to face front again. And that's your impact-free beginner version of the combo. So let's put a couple of sets all together so that you can see the flow of it and see what it's going to look like once we start the workout. So roll those shoulders back and down, chest is lifted high, tighten with those abs. Push the booty back and keep your chest lifted high, keep your back flat and the weight in your heels as you sink down into your squat. Then push the ground away to stand. Now for your push-up. So hands go down, step the feet back into a plank position. Put your knees down for the push-up. Do your push-up. Now come back up onto the toes, step the feet in and stand. If you're able to include the kick over the chair, this is where you're going to kick over the chair. If not, you're going to go right into your reverse lunge. You can hold onto the chair if you need help. And then keeping this leg extended behind you, you're going to pivot, raise your arm, and do your knee crunch. Turn to face the front. Now repeat the lunge and the ab exercise on the other side. So step back with the other foot. You can hold onto the chair for support if you need it. Keep this leg behind you. Pivot, this leg stays extended. The other hand is on the chair for support. Your free hand is overhead. Lift the knee, bring elbow to knee for your crunch. Turn and face your chair. That's one set, all right? Right into your next set. Squat. Hands down for your push-up. Step it in. Hold on to the chair for support if you need it. Lunge, pivot, oblique crunch. Now you can repeat that on the other side. Step back with the other leg for your lunge, pivot, and crunch. All right, that's one set. We're going to be doing 40 sets. So again, if you don't want to do 2 lunges and 2 side crunches with each set, you can do your first 20 sets doing your lunges and crunches to this side, and then your second 20 sets doing your lunges and your crunches to this side. Also, if 40 reps is too many, you can break it up, okay? You can do 10 sets of the combo in the morning, right before breakfast. And then you can do another 10 sets of the combo after lunch, or before you leave for work or something. You can do 10 more sets of the combo when you get home from work or after dinner. And then you can, before bed, do your final 10 sets, okay? Or you can do 20 sets now take a 5-minute break, have something to drink, and then come back and do your second 20 sets, okay? Break it up in whatever way works for you. Again, the only requirement of this challenge is just that you get the reps done. Any way you want to get them done is fine. So any version of these 4 exercises, squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, that you want to do is fine. And any way you want to get them done is fine. So you can break them up throughout the day. You can do the little combo with me, or you can do something else. This challenge is so easily customizable, so it's really easy to follow along. It's really easy to follow along with the workouts with me every day, but if any given day, if what I'm doing does not work for you, remember that you can substitute with any variation of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups that does work for you. As long as you get your 40 reps of each done, you have completed your requirement to participate in the challenge and you're good. All right, so that is what we're doing today. Hopefully that is all clear. But remember, as always, that if anything is unclear with the format and how all of the exercises fit together to make that combo, if you have any questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, please remember that I am right here doing the challenge right along with you every day, and I am here to help. I'm always happy to answer any questions that you might have. It is incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that. And it's especially important to me with this challenge because, like I said, this is my 6th year in a row doing this challenge. But this year, I am specifically gearing this challenge towards beginners. And it's also incredibly important that you understand what you're doing before you begin, that you understand the movement, that you really have a firm grasp on how to do each of these exercises with the correct form, okay? It's really important to make sure that you are minding your form. So if you have any questions about how to do the exercises correctly, please just ask. On day 1 of this challenge, I went into a ton of detail on how to do these exercises correctly, and I also provided tons of beginner modifications for each exercise. So if you missed the video for day 1, I will link that up here in the iCard. It will also be linked below in the description box. I will also link it at the end of this video. So make sure you watch that video if you have any questions about the challenge, what it is, why we're doing it, how it works, where to begin, or if you need help with beginner modifications. Everything you need is in that day 1 video. So make sure you check that out if you haven't watched it already. And just one last thing before we get started, I want to remind you, especially if you are going to be working out along with the video, to please go at your own pace. Okay, you might be slower than I am, that's fine. If you need to pause and rest, you can always pause the video and just come back when you're ready. And if you're faster than I am, great, leave me in the dust. I love it. If you're in any kind of decent shape, you will definitely be faster than I am today. But regardless, just make sure that you're minding your form and that you're going at your own pace. Okay, do not sacrifice your form for speed. I think that's it. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you're ready to go ahead and start the workout, pause the video, take a couple of minutes to make sure you're good and warmed up. It's really important that you are warming your muscles up. It doesn't have to be long. 5 minutes is plenty of time, but you don't want to jump into the workout with cold muscles. If your muscles are warm, they are more pliable and they are therefore less susceptible to being strained or pulled during the workout. So taking a couple of minutes to warm up before you begin is always recommended so that you reduce your risk of injury. If you have a warm-up routine that you like, great, you're gonna do that right now. If you need a warm-up routine, there is a warm-up, a little 5-minute warm-up routine that I did with you in day 1. So if you need to warm up right now, go ahead, get dressed, pause this video, get dressed, and then come back, click on the link for the day 1 video. There are always chapter markers in the description box down below the video, so you can use the chapter markers to skip ahead to the warm-up, You can do the warm-up that we did on day 1, and then come back to this video when you are ready to start your reps. So if you are ready to go ahead and get these day 3 reps done with me, go ahead and grab a yoga mat or an exercise mat if you have one. Grab a chair if you have one. Take a couple of minutes to make sure that you are good and warmed up, and when you're ready, let's get started. All right, as soon as you're ready, here we go. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So we are starting with a squat jump if you want. Now for your push-up. So jump or step the feet back in. And now for our lunge, we're gonna first kick up and over the chair. Let the momentum carry your leg behind you right into the lunge. Now this leg stays behind you. You're gonna pivot, extend this arm, bend the leg, and crunch, knee to elbow. Now turn and face your chair again. We're gonna repeat the lunge and the ab exercise on the other side. So with the other leg, you're gonna kick up and over the chair, swing that leg behind you, sink down into your lunge. Straighten the legs, but keep this foot behind you. You're gonna turn and pivot the other way. Holding onto your chair for support, you're going to extend the opposite arm up overhead. Lift this leg, bend the knee, and crunch, knee to elbow. That's our first set. We're going to do that 39 more times to get in our 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. So next set, squat, jump, push-up, kick and lunge, grab the chair, side crunch. Repeat the lunge and the side crunch on the other side. So kick over the chair, lunge, and crunch. That's our second set, okay? Let's keep going. Set number 3, squat, jump, push up, jump the feet in, kick over the chair, lunge, pivot, oblique knee crunch. Now other side, kick over the chair, lunge, pivot, oblique knee crunch. That's 3. Let's see if we can pick up the pace a little bit. Now that we've done it a few times and we're getting the flow of it, squat, jump, push up, kick over the chair, lunge, oblique knee crunch. Other side, kick, lunge, pivot, crunch. That's 4. Keep going. That's 5. Let's do another 5 and then we'll see if we need a little rest. If not, we'll just keep pushing through. Do your best. To do like a little pot right there or something. I don't know what that was. I think that was 9. Let's do one more. right, that's 10. So we're already 25% of the way through. If you need to pause and rest here, pause and rest. You can break it up into groups of 10 if you need to, okay? Whatever works for you. I'm going to keep going and see if I can get to 20 before I need a rest break. So do your best, remember to go at your own pace. Remember to apply the beginner modifications where necessary. And when you're ready, let's go. Continue on, I'm picking up my count at 10. When you're ready, here we go. Trying to go too fast and I lost my balance, so I need to slow down and focus. That was 13 for me. I forgot my squat. No skipping squats. That was 20 for me. I'm gonna keep pushing. Pause and rest if you need to. I have 20 more to go. I'm picking up my count at 20. Here we go. was 30 for me. I just have 10 more to go. I'm feeling good. I'm gonna push through. Pause and rest if you need to. When you're ready to come back, let's finish up these final 10 sets. My squat that last set, so I'm going to do 2 jump squats right here. I think that's 35 for me. Just 5 sets left. Let's keep pushing. It's 36. 37. It's 38. Just 2 more. Let's push. That's 39. Final set. Squat, jump, push up, kick over, lunge, crunch, kick, lunge, crunch, and that's 40. 17 minutes and 16 seconds. All right, nicely done. And just like that, our 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups are done for the day. And if you did the combo the way I was doing it, you actually did 80 lunges and 80 reps of an ab exercise. So well done, but we are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So for my beginners, let's do a beginner bonus burpee together. You're going to start by standing towards the middle of your mat. Bend down, put your feet on the mat, step your feet back. These are hands, right? Not feet. Your feet are already on the mat. So take 2, bend down and put your hands on the mat. Step your feet back so that you're in a plank position. Knees down for your push-up. Now back up into plank, step it in, and stand. Come up onto your toes if you want, or if you want, you can add a little jump. If you are more advanced and you want to try doing a burpee with the push-up on your toes with me, let's go ahead and do just one more bonus burpee. Here we go, when you're ready. Final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. The reason for the bonus burpee, I do one bonus burpee after all of my workouts. It's just a little celebration that we got it done, because when you think about how bad you would have beaten yourself up if you skipped your workout today, that is how big of a pat on the back you need to give yourself if you did the workout today. So it's worth a little celebration that we summoned the motivation to get dressed and get up and get out here and do our reps. So the bonus burpee is just that exclamation point at the end of the workout, a little celebration that we got it done, and it's that final slap across Brutus's face. Remember, this challenge has 2 components. There is the physical component, where we are doing our 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups every day. There's also a mental health component, where we are shutting up that negative self-talk that we call Brutus, okay? So with our slap, our SLAP, squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, we are slapping Brutus across his face. So the bonus burpee is just that one final slap. It's really gonna shut him up for today because you did it. You did the thing. You got dressed and you did these reps with me. So amazing job. Thank you for joining me for this day 3 workout. I do wanna let you know that I'm going to keep going. My reps for the day are done. However, when I do this challenge, I always like to tack on an additional 20 or 30 minutes or more of cardio after my reps. So typically I will do that by grabbing my jump rope. So I'm going to set my timer for 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals times 40 rounds. I have my jump rope ready to go. I'm gonna get some music going, and I'm going to spend 20 minutes doing some moderate paced cardio with my jump rope. I'm going to be doing 20 minutes of interval jump rope. But sometimes I will just hop on the exercise bike for 30 minutes while I watch YouTube or something. When it's nice out, which it's not today, and if I have the time, I will go for a hike. The additional cardio is not mandatory. It is not part of the challenge, so you don't have to do it, and you don't have to get down on yourself for not doing it. I'm just letting you know because that's the way I do this challenge every year. Because I am trying to get fit, I'm trying to get lean, I'm trying to lose fat, I'm trying to improve my overall health. I'm trying to build strength, but I'm also trying to improve my cardiovascular health. I want to regain some of the stamina that I've lost, and I want to do something healthy for my heart and my lungs. So I always think it's a good idea to add a little bit of additional cardio because these workouts are kind of short. It's not a ton of reps. And if you are looking to use this challenge as a way to lose weight and get in shape, get fit, get lean, adding on the additional cardio is just really going to help accelerate that process. So think about it. It doesn't necessarily have to be after every single workout, but even if you can just find 2 or 3 days a week where you have time to tack on just 20 minutes or 30 minutes, more if you can is great, but 20 or 30 minutes of additional cardio after the workout, just some moderate paced cardio. You can go for a jog or just a brisk walk. You can jump rope or hop on the exercise bike or the treadmill. If you have a real bike, you can go for a bike ride in real life as long as the weather is permitting where you live. But you could do up and down the steps if you have steps in your apartment complex or in your house. If you have access to the field at your local high school, you could jog around the track, or you could do up and down the bleachers. If you live close to a beach, you could jog on the beach, or if there's a hiking trail or a beach that has steps, you can go up and down the steps there. really any kind of cardio exercise you want to do is fine, and any way you want to get it done and however long you want to spend on it is great. Not mandatory, not part of the challenge, but recommended. But as far as our slap reps go, you guys, that is a wrap on day 3. Well done. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. If you want and you feel comfortable, feel free to comment with your score. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. That really does mean the world to me. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format, how all of these individual exercises fit together, if you have any questions about these exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts at all about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, please just ask. That is going to do it for today, and I will see you all right back here tomorrow for day 4. Bye.